Speaking of prudential standards, one of the new programs that the Cooperative Development Authority will be handling and referring to our cooperatives is the RBSEM cell. Is this new to all of us? So we will be hearing what RBSEM cell by our next speaker, the OIC of the Office of the Administrator. We have Attorney Malu P. Pacao. Madam?
Yes, Sir Jo.
What is this RBSEM cell that we are hearing about that the CDA is planning to use for our cooperatives?
Thank you, Sir Jo. So RBSEM cell has been a buzzword for those in the technical working group. Only very few of the CDA personnel are yet familiar with this. So this is the first time that we go public in explaining what RBSEM cell is. So the RBSEM cell is an acronym which stands for Risk-Based Supervision and Examination Manual for Cooperatives Engaged in Lending. So this is a manual we are preparing. We receive support from DGRV, a German federation who is assisting us in this endeavor. So this is a manual which provides for the framework of how cooperatives engaged in lending should be supervised. So it is an enhanced level of supervision from the former compliance-based supervision, which is done through inspection. We now have the supervision which is risk-based. So hindi na simpleng parang checklist lang na yes, no, yes, no. We now consider the risks that the cooperatives engaged in lending are facing, and then assess how the cooperatives are preparing or how the risk management systems are ready to address the emerging risks in their operations. Haba, no?
Yes, ma'am, but it's nice to hear regarding this risk-based supervision, or we call that RBSEM cell. So how is this applied to the process to those cooperatives that are engaged in lending?
Okay, so sabi ko nga kanina, this is an enhanced level of supervision. So we will be assessing how the cooperatives engaged in lending identify, measure, mitigate, and control risks that are associated with their operation. Kasi we're not only safeguarding the interest of the cooperative, but of the members and the entire financial system.
So I guess this is one of the positive impact of this particular program of the CDA, because we will now be identifying the risks before that they will happen in order to protect our cooperatives as well as the cooperative members. So you made mention of this risk, Attorney Malu. So what specific types or categories of risks that are monitored under this particular program?
Okay, Sir Jo, while there are several types of risks in the world, hindi namin na-ambisyoning tingnan lahat yun. In the risk-based supervision, we would only be focusing on 4 categories of risk. Yung pinakauna sa listahan is financial risk, ikalawa yung operational risks, ikatlo is the legal and compliance risk, at ikaapat yung mission drift risk. Siguro, Sir Jojo, dun sa tatlo medyo familiar ka, pero yung pang-apat yung mission drift risk, hindi siya very new concept. Pero this time, gusto namin siyang i-include doon sa risk-based supervision because we noticed that some cooperatives are now slowly drifting away from what they should be doing as cooperatives.
Totally agreed, Malu.
Siya yung aming promotor talaga.
Pag mission
He's the
drift,
main
pag the
sponsor.
word mission drift, the first thing that come into my mind is of course ASEC Luz. No? Talagang meron pala nagdi-drift ng mga mission.
Of course.
So, can you add something or more
Joe,
about mission drift risk ASEC?
When the purpose of the officers is only for themselves, and not only the officers, including the staff, when they begin to be selfish, then that's where the mission drift starts. At the expense of the poor members, whose focus should be them, not the officers, not the employees.
So, I guess you heard it right, no? We will also be looking at the mission drift risk, no? Baka probably our cooperatives are already deviating from the very mandate that they were created and established. So that will be part of the RBSEM cell, Attorney Malu. So, Attorney, can you also make mention to our viewers today the phases on the RBSEM cell program? So how it is done? So how would our cooperatives prepare for this new program set by the CDA.
Okay, because of the numerous cooperatives engaged in lending, we should be prioritizing who should be examined first using the risk-based supervision framework. First, that we should do is to assess the cooperatives engaged in lending based on a tool to assess who should be examined first, which means who is more at risk para matigil na yung risk. Since CDA would be rolling it out this year, the first cooperatives that will be examined are the billionaire cooperatives engaged in lending. So dun muna tayo sa malalaki. Bakit? Gusto sabihin, mas malaki ang impact nila sa buong cooperative sector at sa financial industry. Pag na-identify na yon sino mga i-examine, then we now come to the planning. We would be notifying the cooperatives that, hey, you're one of the lucky cooperatives that would be subjected to the risk-based supervision. And then, while the cooperative is preparing the documents, the CDA examination team would also be gathering data on the cell. When we say cell, this refers to the cooperatives engaged in lending from other sources. Kasi, di ba, nagsasabihin sila sa atin ng report. Posible rin na may mga data from the industry, from the financial industry. So, they would be consolidating those reports. And then, we would be preparing the preliminary risk assessment from the records or the reports submitted to the CDA and the other information that we gathered from other sources, magkakaroon ng isang assessment. Preliminary lang siya kasi gagawin muna siya ni CDA based on those reports. When the examination team goes to the cooperative for the examination, i-validate niya yung kanyang preliminary risk assessment. When the CDA prepares the preliminary risk assessment, makikita niya doon, ito ba ay masyadong mataas yung risk? Aling areas ang masyadong mataas ang risk? So that would be the basis in preparing the scope memorandum. When we say scope memorandum, masyado siyang technical, pero ang nakalagay lang naman doon, ano yung areas na dapat tutukan when they do the examination. Yun yung magiging guide ng examination team when they go to the cooperative for the examination. And nakalagay din doon, ano yung duration ng examination, sino yung mga taong mai-involve. Kasi this cannot be done by a single person. So it would always be a team which is composed of not less than 3 examiners, with 1 being the lead examiner. And then, after preparing the scope memorandum, yan, panahon na, punta na doon sa lugar ng cooperative where they will conduct the on-site examination. So, sabi ko nga kanina, yung preliminary risk assessment, i-validate ngayon. Based on the documents na nasa cooperative, tama ba yung assessment ng ating examination team. And then, after that, magkakaroon ng exit conference. Parang inspection lang din. I-relay doon sa cooperative officers ano yung resulta ng aming examination. And then, makikita doon ano yung risk level, composite risk level ng isang cooperative. And it would signal. Later on siguro, pwede natin pag-usapan. Kasi 1, 2, 3, 4. Ano ba yung significance pag ang rating mo ay 1, 2, 3, or 4? Oo. So, meron niyang rating, may grade. And then, after that, bibigyan sila ng pagkakataon, it's either to refute the findings or magpakita sila ng ibang proof so that the other findings would be erased from the examination report. And then, off-site surveillance. So kasi hindi ito yung in-examine mo ngayon, next year examinin mo na naman ulit. So magbabase lang yon doon sa composite risk rating. And kung nagagawa ba nila yung ipinangako nilang dapat na gawin to address the identified risk areas. So kung nagagawa naman nila yon, maganda yung kanilang implementation ng kanilang action plan, yung subsequent on-site examination, maybe the following year pa. Pero kung masyadong mataas yung composite risk rating, tapos hindi nila maayos na nai-implement, mas shorter ang interval. So pwedeng next year i-examine ulit sila. Pag mataas masyado yung risk at hindi nagagawa ng co-op yung kanilang action plan to mitigate those risks.
May add, Jo?
Yes.
Now,
Asa.
I would like to inform the cooperatives that this is not punitive. We are not there to go after you. We're there to identify what are the weaknesses in operations so that early management can save the day for cooperatives. We will not let any cooperative go bankrupt. That's why we are trying to do this risk-based supervision and examination. And in fact, to multiply CDA, we are now having an accreditation of federations to help us.
So I just want to ask ASEC, with this new program that we will be undergoing for our cooperatives, what do you think? How would the sector, especially in the finance cluster of cooperatives, will perceive or will accept, or how will they look at this program that we will be instituting?
In the piloting of the program, the positive feedback from the co-ops was very encouraging. They were very happy to note that they are doing things that are not in line with the right way of doing things. They know now that their decisions had been risky, and what is very important to them is really to move forward and do the right things. So it's changing mindsets, it's changing the way we do things in the cooperative.
Yes, no. So we already had our pilot test for this, and so far the result is positive.